Okay guys, this is Carl Carlson. He's my friend. He works for Border Patrol, but in his spare time he loves to do vehicle restoration. I'm just going to swivel over here real quick. Just underneath this car cover we have a gorgeous 69 Roadrunner that he's working on. It's on hold right now while he's working on my 69 Vet. So anyway, Carl, this is the first time I've been down here to see the car, you know, kind of since it's been here. So I know you've done a ton of work in the engine compartment. Why don't you tell us what's been done?
Well, first of all, after we stripped everything completely to the frame, we cleaned everything, de-rusted it, de-greased it, and refinished it. And we're getting ready to put the motor in soon. But the biggest job was the fiberglass repairs. On the firewall, we had quite a bit of damage. For example, right here near the brake booster was a big hole about this big right here in this area, and so we had to rebuild this with fiberglass. Also, the package area here for the wiper motor was damaged and cracked, so we had to redo this and blend the fiberglass in. Also, right here we had to rebuild this lip completely. This was broken out, and as well as this part here. And then on the other side, right next to you, Bart, was where it was very badly damaged. The same corner.
Carl told me that this corner right here was split and you could stick your fingers down in it, and as you can see they have corrected all of that problem, re-glassed everything, and then he's put a beautiful paint job on the firewall. Go ahead and continue, Carl.
Okay, so, you know, going back to this repair here, Bart, the reason that crack had happened was these two studs here is where we have the hood latch assembly, and it might have been too high, or someone just shut the hood too hard right there, and broke that whole corner of the firewall.
Okay.
So we'll have to be careful. We'll have no shims in there as we put it back together, so we can avoid it happening again.
Okay.
The inner fenders had a lot of damage too. We had a big chunk here missing, which we were able to blend back in, as well as inside here in a hidden area, and then part of the control arm opening here was damaged. We had grafted new pieces in. We also modified the brake cylinder entry point into the firewall. Originally it was just these two holes here and a small hole here for the master cylinder, but because we're going to power brakes, we had to modify it for 4 holes, and you can see that all 4 of them are different. Now behind here, the original metal of the support brackets already have the holes there. So
they were prepared for power brake or not power brake?
Right. It has the holes there for the power brakes already there. We just had to drill the fiberglass and get it all right. And we also had to enlarge in this hole here. And as a template, we used a factory power booster gasket, so we knew exactly where to drill and where to cut.
Okay, cool.
Everything has been redone. The frame, we used original OEM style asphalt based gloss paint, frame and chassis paint. And for the steering parts, like the center link here, the tie rods, the steering box, we used a high temp cast iron paint. And this way, these parts from the factory were left bare. Well, now they're going to look like new. They're not going to rust, which they would have done in a year.
Very nice.
We left it the way it was. Same with control arm. Everything on the car, suspension and chassis wise, and steering, which would have been cast metal, we painted to replicate the look of the cast finish. And
very nice.
Control arms, also we use the factory style chassis paint. All of the control arm bushings have been replaced, the uppers, the lowers, as well as the ball joints. And we put the same shims back in exactly as we had found them. Now, at the factory they marked bolts as they were torqued, and we did the same too. Not to exactly replicate what the factory did, just because we're taking our time building this and having to stop and start again, and we know which bolt's been torqued and which ones haven't, and that's one way that we
Wise move. Wise move. And just to add, Carl did also repairs on this inner fender over here as well. And I'm just going to scan this engine compartment for you because it is absolutely gorgeous. So I just want to take it nice and slow around here. So much work has been done. This is just beautiful. Now this whole power brake thing, this was at my request. I saw that they had a kit available at Corvette Central, and I thought if we're this far apart, we're replacing all of the brakes anyway. I figured, why not? If you have a car that goes fast, you should be able to stop fast. So
advice.
Anyway,
Well,
that was the genesis of the power brakes.
A couple of things we did do is we went ahead and changed out, just for good measure, the heater core, since
Right.
we were able to access it easy with the motor being out and not having to do it inside the car. And then also, one of the biggest fiberglass repairs, which you can't see, was right here underneath the driver's feet. At some point, someone had missed a shift, sidestepped the clutch, and put their foot right through here, and they had wedged a piece of metal in, a sheet metal and caulk. We took all that out and we replaced that, but you can't.
Let me zoom in here.
You can't see the repair underneath.
That had a gaping hole. I saw it. It was probably 14 inches wide, 8 inches high, and Carl has re-glassed all that, done it properly. Somebody just, like he said, they caulked a piece of metal and then threw the carpet over it and let it go. And do you want to show real quick from the inside? I'll come around over here. So we're going to just take a look at where this repair was done. You can see it clearly from the inside. Okay.
Give you a little bit of light.
You can see right down here, that's all fresh glass. And Carl molded it properly, and it's pretty thick now, and I don't think anybody will put a foot through it anymore. But like we say previously, that was just a chunk of metal that somebody caulked and screwed in and threw the carpet over it and just left it. So it's fixed properly.
You won't have to worry about exhaust gases coming up through the interior now.
Yep, that's good. Well, let's go back out to the engine compartment and we'll wrap this one up, and then we'll take a look at the rear end in a different video. So any final comments on this engine compartment, Carl?
Well, we're about to outfit it completely before we put the engine in. We'll route our wiring. We have brand new hooks for routing the wiring.
And the vacuum.
And the vacuum tubes. Bart has brand new reproduction harnesses and as well as the vacuum line harness, which will make it very nice putting it back together.
So folks, that's pretty much it on the engine compartment of this. Carl has done a fantastic job. He's been sending me pictures all along, but there's nothing like being here to see it myself. I hope you enjoy this video. This shows, I mean, hundreds of hours of work. It's really amazing. Thank you all for watching.